Hello, everyone. It is Thursday, October 29th. Welcome to another episode of Together San Diego. I'm your host, Luis Cruz, Community Relations Director for the San Diego Union-Tribune. Now, today we're discussing a very important topic in San Diego and across the state, the issue of a lack of affordable housing and what's being done to address that. Joining me this afternoon to discuss this topic is Sean Spear, CEO of Community HousingWorks. Sean, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Luis, and happy to be here.
It's great to have you on. Tell us about Community HousingWorks and your mission.
Well, Community HousingWorks is a nonprofit affordable housing developer and owner. We have 42 properties scattered across the state, though we are primarily focused on here, our home, San Diego, where we have 37 properties within the San Diego County area. We really pride ourselves on not just being a developer of affordable housing, but also really participating in the improvement of the lives of our residents. And we serve residents that are working families, seniors, as well as those with disabilities. The great thing about our work is that we really focus on creating communities, true communities that are both a place that the residents can feel like they are part of a group of people that are their neighbors, but also that we're also locally accountable. We really pride ourselves on the deep relationships that we have with the neighbors that surround our communities, as well as the service providers that are in those neighborhoods or in those cities as well.
Great. Now you are new to the organization. What do you hope to tackle or accomplish first?
Well, the big things is that I'm both new to the organization and frankly new to San Diego. Though in my previous roles, I helped support development here in San Diego with CHW, as well as other affordable housing developers in this community. But the big things that I sort of see right now is certainly looking at the COVID situation and being able to help both the organization as well as our residents navigate this difficult time. Also really looking at what are the opportunities for us to make more impact in terms of the work that we do. And some of that is really looking at the fact that CHW and our previous CEO, Sue Reynolds, really has created a really strong and vibrant organization, but where maybe there may be some opportunities for us to build upon that foundation that she and our board of directors and our partners, as well as our staff of course, have built over the years. So I'm really excited to be able to lend what I know about affordable housing in particular, and lend my expertise towards creating a greater future for CHW, but also, frankly, helping with the housing crisis here in San Diego.
Yeah, I want to chat more about that. If you're just tuning in, we are chatting with Sean Spear, CEO of Community HousingWorks. Now, we have a short video of how Community HousingWorks helps people. Let's take a look at that and then come back and chat some more.
Sounds great.
To tell you about my apartment, it's just absolutely high-end. Kitchen is excellent, has a nice living area and a balcony that I love to sit on. I never thought I would be so comfortable in my aging years. I just really do enjoy living here.
For more than 30 years, Community HousingWorks has developed high-quality, affordable apartment homes and sustainable communities that are recognized locally and nationally. We provide so much more than 4 well-designed walls and a roof. We create true communities.
We lost our home to foreclosure. We had 15 years there. My parents were living in type of a studio, a very small studio. It's more like a garage. After we got the news that Paradise Creek was available for us as an opportunity, they took it, and it's been a big change altogether. I've been very active. The neighbors are really good. We are very close. These programs from CHW are very important for me because it permits me to empower myself, and not only me, but empower others.
So, Sean, how many people do you serve?
We serve over 9,000 residents in 3,671 units.
Wow. This resident alluded to some of the programs that you put on and help with. Tell us about those Community HousingWorks programs and why they are so important to residents' success.
Yeah, we really see this as, the pride of our work, because while we really focus on being a good developer and a good owner, it is really our interactions with the residents. And frankly, we don't look at it as just providing services that help with the stability, but also really focus on how do we become their partners in achieving their dreams that they have, whether it's dreams of financial growth for themselves, opportunities to maybe go back to buying a property if they wanted to in the long term. Also looking at opportunities along the education lines, as well as opportunities around health for the residents. So our three areas that are make up our Achieve suite of programs are focused on financial well-being, health and wellness, and then also education. And that includes education all the way from kindergarten all the way through adult opportunities. So we really pride ourselves on being able to work with the children that are looking to do better in school. So in part, we start off with our Study Stars program, which is interacting with children from kindergarten through 5th grade. We then have sort of a graduating increase in services from there. For instance, we have an Achievers Club, which emphasizes leadership and mentoring for high school students as they prepare to go on to college. And then lastly, oftentimes those students that are part of our Achievers Club then apply for our Valor scholarships, which we are providing financial assistance for them to be able to go on to college. So, and in addition, we also work very closely with adults who are looking to go back to school to better their lives as well. So it's really a wide range of things we're attempting to achieve. And even for seniors, as an example, they may not be interested in going back to school wherever they are at that moment, but we focus on really providing them with great health and wellness programs. We have a partnership, for instance, with Scripps Whittier around helping folks to deal with if they have a diabetes diagnosis, as well as programs that are designed to stave off folks that may be at risk of becoming diabetic. So we really emphasize sort of preventive care as well that will hopefully avoid any potential issues with health later on down the road for our residents.
That's great. How has COVID-19 changed what you do, and how have you had to adapt?
Well, I think the first thing first is you think about, what is your current situation as an organization? I feel very pleased that we are on very good ground when it comes to our finances. That being said, we recognize that things are changing in terms of resources on the local levels, on the state level, and on the federal level when it comes to supporting the creation of new affordable housing or preserving existing affordable housing. So we're having to sort of navigate that situation and still make sure that our development projects that we're working on, we have 14 in the pipeline right now, representing close to 1,400 units of, 1,200 units of housing. So being able to kind of navigate the changing environment on the financing side is critical to us. But most importantly, it's also really supporting our residents through this time, particularly our working families who are often in the service industries and that sector has been hardest hit by the COVID recession. So being able to support them in terms of their financial wellness, also in terms of looking at making sure that their children still have support if they are attempting to still take their classes from home. The thing that I sort of think about is one of the residents that I met on one of my tours just a couple weeks ago at our Kalos community, which is one of our newer ones. It was actually developed in 2013 in the North Park neighborhood of San Diego. There it was a situation. I had the chance to talk to one of our residents who was actually one of the first to move into the property. She's a single mother who has 5 children, ranging from 17 on the high end to 3 on the low end, and her 3-year-old is just adorable. But she's dealing with directly with the results of the COVID crisis. She was in the service industry. She worked on retail with Smart and Final for many years, and unfortunately, she was laid off. She has her children that are trying to learn remotely and go through school. And there are not only challenges in terms of her income. She's been fortunate to have unemployment insurance, as well as the $600 or more that people got as a result of the CARES Act. But that ending has created a stress on her financing situation. But more importantly, she's had to take on new costs. The fact that the children are at home now, so it means that she had to upgrade her internet service to be able to cover be able to have enough bandwidth for all, for sometimes 5 kids being on the net. It also meant an increase in her utility costs because everybody's home now all day. So those are real effects that are the residents are having to face as challenges. She's been great in terms of taking advantage of some of our services that we have. We have financial coaches that sort of help folks navigate with their budget to try and still make ends meet as much as possible. But it is very difficult for them. And we've had to adjust the way we provide our services to the residents. So we're doing more welfare checks. We're also making available, we have a great partnership with the food bank, San Diego Food Bank, as well as Jewish Family Services around doing food boxes for folks as they request them and need. So we've had to pivot a little bit, but not nearly as much as the residents. And we're trying our best to be kind of a good partner to them to help them navigate the situation.
Yeah, Sean, I was going to ask you how has the pandemic and social justice issues exacerbated the issue of housing affordability?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I think definitely the pandemic has definitely impacted us on the development side to a certain extent, but also more importantly with the residents. The social justice situation that we're all dealing with right now is one that caused us to really take a look at ourselves. And we're in the process of developing an equity and inclusion platform for us to work with. So it's taking a hard look at our organization and how are we actually supporting the opportunities for people of color to not just play a meaningful role in the organization, but to actually be provided with opportunities to promote, as well as achieve whatever they hope to do in terms of learning and skill sets within their job. But it's also looking at, what are our partnerships? What are our contractual relationships we have? Are they sort of reflecting what we have as our value set and goal in terms of equity and inclusion in the community? And lastly, we want to play a role in the broader community to be a voice for folks that we serve, to be able to talk about what's important to them, as well as to hopefully have an impact on the long term on both the state and even the national level. We have deep relationships with organizations that are also, fleshing through what may be the ways that we can better improve equity in our communities. And so we want to be, really a great partner to them, and also really, frankly, get San Diego's perspective into the conversation.
Sean, how did you get into this field, and what do you want people to know about affordable housing?
Well, it's a funny thing. It's a field that I didn't start out in. I went to school for city planning and started off as a city planner back home in New York, where I grew up. It was a great opportunity for me to get a sense of everything that goes into making a healthy community. I feel like I've been able to use that skill set as a city planner throughout my career since then. But over time, I gradually migrated into development because I felt like it was nice to come up with plans as a city planner, but it's a different thing to actually implement them. And that's what really excited me as I went on in my career, was the ability to actually implement change, to do things that would actually improve communities immediately. So I gravitated towards development, focused in on housing, and then even more so on finance. That's kind of been my my thing. I still consider myself a deal wonk at heart. I just love development and the opportunities to make change in communities for the better. And I think that, that's really reflective of what CHW is about. And that's really what attracted me to the organization, that we really focus on what we do and making sure we do it well. We have a sense of, really 30 years of excellence in developing and owning affordable housing. But also, we want to sort of think through what are the opportunities for us to do things a little bit different, a little bit better, faster, cheaper, at least seek those as goals for ourselves. And, frankly, also to make sure we never forget who is really our clients, and that's our residents, and that's the neighborhoods that we actually develop in. Those are the people that we have to satisfy at the end of the day.
So you're now at Community HousingWorks. Talk about how the organization is working to meet the need of the growing housing and housing affordability crisis here in California.
Yeah, well, some of the things is certainly around advocacy on our part. We play a big role in terms of making sure we have strategic partnerships with others in the affordable housing and even broader housing development communities. We work with a variety of organizations statewide. I have the fortune of serving on the board of directors on a few of them and bringing San Diego's perspective to the table. There are opportunities for us to look at legislative things that are going to speed the creation and development of affordable housing. Certainly looking at financing opportunities. Measure A is on the ballot next week and is a critical, what we believe, maybe a critical opportunity for San Diego to put forward financing resources that'll help us do more affordable housing. And not just us, there's a whole affordable housing industry here. An opportunity, frankly, for maybe market rate developers to also play a role in the creation of affordable housing. I think San Diego's latest figures is that we need approximately 108,000 units of housing just in the city of San Diego alone within the next several years in order to meet our just an existing demand. This is going to be an effort that is going to need to be shared, not just by affordable housing developers, but also market rate developers in the broader community. I think affordable housing and housing development are great economic generators. They create good jobs, whether it's on the construction side or ultimately in the operations of them. And it brings investment potentially from the state as well as the federal government directly into San Diego. So I think, there's lots of reasons for folks to support Measure A, both in terms of who it will ultimately serve. I think it will make a real dent in our in our homelessness crisis. There are some, I think, 7,100 people that in the last count that was identified as living on or without a permanent home over their head. So certainly Measure A and other opportunities like that will hopefully put a dent in that. But I think that the big thing is just, the creation of housing is critically important on all levels. And that's what's going to be really make us a much more balanced and better place for folks to live in.
Well, I think it's great that you're not only helping people put a roof over their heads, but that you're helping with programs starting from kids all the way up to the college level and seniors. So yeah. It's good to hear about all your programs. Where can people get more information about Community HousingWorks?
Well, certainly you can go to our website. It's www.chworks.org. Thank you for posting that. And I think there are a variety of ways you can really sort of assist in the effort. And, we have just created a new education-focused fund. It's named after my predecessor, Sue Reynolds. And it's focused on a variety, really supporting our educational related services. There's also opportunities certainly to volunteer with us. We've been really fortunate to have volunteers, for instance, help us on our food box activities. There are other things such as mentoring and as well as providing little bit opportunities for folks to do some skill set improvements for folks as they come along. And then lastly, donations are always welcome. There can be that can be not just monetary, but if there's equipment, if there's furnishings, that you think it might be helpful for us to have in our community spaces, we'd love to take those as donations as well. We were very fortunate. We had one partner, as an example, donate a set of Chromebooks for one of our finance properties out in the northern part of the county. So any little assistance that you think can support the services that we're trying to do will be definitely welcome.
Great. Before we go, can you talk about the organization's efforts to acquire the Cortez Hill Family Center? How does that fit into the Community HousingWorks overall plans for expansion?
Yeah, that's really an exciting probability for us. We were very fortunate just several days ago to get a unanimous vote of approval from not only the Planning Commission, but then later the City Council here in San Diego to have that property turned over to us. We are buying it for a giant lump sum of a little less than $12,000. In part, it's that low because it's currently a vacant property that would need to be demolished, but also it already has affordability restrictions on it that impact the valuation of the property itself. So that we're hoping to create anywhere from approximately 75 to as much as 110 units of affordable housing. There will be a supportive housing component to it at the minimum. It might be a fairly substantial portion depending on how the design and development process goes. And in fact, also in concert with communicating and working with the surrounding neighborhood to come up with what will be the most accepted and appreciated development at the end of the day. So it's going to take a couple years to get through the process. We want to make sure to do it right and do it correctly from the first day. But at the end of the day, I think we'll find that it'll be a real asset to that part of the neighborhood. Though we've been developing in San Diego for a very long time, this actually would be our first supportive housing development in downtown San Diego. And I don't need to tell you all that, there is a lot of need in the area, and we're hoping to do our part to address that need. So we're really excited about the possibilities for that site, as well as others that we're doing around the region. We have looking at as part of a master plan with the city of National City. We were fortunate to also get an approval from them for that master plan also several days ago. And we're in a great partnership with San Ysidro Health to create a multi-generational campus environment right in the heart of National City that would serve seniors as well as families living in that surrounding community to have a great place to live, as well as to have a lot of activity associated around them that is really tailored to them as the population. So it's projects like that where we really come together with the community to figure out what is the best development and how to go about it. And so we're really excited to be doing efforts like that really across the state.
That's great. Before we go, Sean, is there anything else you would like to add?
No, I really appreciate the time to get introduced to San Diego. Community HousingWorks has been here since 1998, and I'm new to the situation, but I'm hoping that folks can get a sense of how important it is to do affordable housing and support it where you can, that we really focus on being a good neighbor, and that hopefully, folks will come out and vote for Measure A and support housing when it comes to their community. So appreciate the time, and thank you.
All right. Well, welcome to San Diego, Sean. Appreciate your time and expertise. Sean Spear, CEO of Community HousingWorks. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. And thank you at home for watching, everybody. Have a great day.
San Diegans accomplish great things every day. We care about our neighbors and our community. We are proud of our diversity. We are resilient. We hold our leaders accountable. We live in one of the most dynamic cities in America, the San Diego Union-Tribune, telling San Diego's story for more than 150 years.